Cool. Matt Pinfield, fanpass.tv, Phil Anselmo. Phil, so good to see you again, man.
Good to see you, big brother.
It's been too long, man, since we've hung out.
And it's been too long since I met a motherfucker with a voice more fried than mine.
Yes, it's true. We've got that.
I sound like Wolfman Jack. You sound like fucking Wolfman Jerk.
We do. Remember Wolfman Jack? Remember, all right, baby. Remember we do that shit all the time?
Piss yes.
You know that guy, I'll tell you just quickly. Wolfman Jack, man, he almost lost everything because he had a border radio station in Mexico. His partner there fucking kicked him out because he did Mexican.
He was getting more.
Yeah.
Tell.
So you know what happened? He ended up, because of George Lucas putting him in American Graffiti, it changed his life. He was just, that's what really changed everything and turned it around.
Because he had a role in American Graffiti. He was the disc jockey.
Yeah, remember that? Yeah. And he was in that.
Who remembers American Graffiti? We're talking. Me too.
Yeah, like 70s.
Ancient
Yeah,
films,
it's great. I love that movie. You know, it was a cool movie.
I've been in. Yeah, yes, I love movies. People know this. Wait a minute. Whoa, that was an accident.
No, it happens. Phil, it's good to see you, though, man. Seeing you out playing with Down and doing it again.
Pissing us.
You know, it was brilliant. It's just great to see you out. I'd love to see you on stage doing what you do.
Well, I appreciate that, man. You know, no puff, no front, no whatever. No specific image unless you pigeonhole me into wearing black t-shirts or something like that. But other than that, man, I ain't got no gimmicks. Neither does Down. And at the end of the day, I think really it's our songs.
Yeah.
Which it's the music that does the talking, and that's what I think is important.
The first time I heard Stone the Crow, I was just like, listen, I'm in love with this. Played it on the radio about 50 times.
See, because we play heavy metal. Yeah. But also, we do smooth rock shit like that, you know? Yeah. And then
that's like a blues group.
We do acoustic things. So there's many dynamics to Down that keep you and can keep you very interested as a musician, exploring musician, which I absolutely am. I love to explore and play different genres. Yeah. Hence so many side
you always have. I mean, that's what's great about it. And when did you first meet Pepper? When it was during the COC Pantera tours back in the day? When was it?
Pepper and I are New Orleans children, and Metallica, well, it was Ozzy Osbourne came through New Orleans, and for the first time, Metallica came through. I want to say Master of Puppets tour.
Yeah, probably. I read the lady.
And the way Jimmy tells it, Jimmy Bauer, that is, from I Hate God and Down. Yeah. He says that he'd been there since 2:00 in the afternoon, waiting in line, and they had a good spot. And somehow me, Pepper, and a bunch of dudes, woo, all fucking partying and drunk, 15-something years old, whatever, made it to the front of the line, and they were very upset. So anyway, me and Pepper, I was introduced by a very good, very talented friend of ours named Sidney Montz, and we were introduced by headbanging next to each other to Metallica at some asshole show.
That's great.
Yeah.
I've been friends ever since, which is cool.
Fuck yeah.
Which is amazing.
And you know,
I met Pepper with James Hetfield. That's where I met him the first time.
Well, Pepper was also in a legendary fucking old school, hardcore, dark-core band. No, a band called Graveyard Rodeo from New Orleans. Yeah. And I adored them. And I was great friends with the drummer. The drummer was the first guy to turn me on to Evil Dead. The original. Yeah. He ended up being the singer for one of my side bands, Christ Inversion. Yeah. He played drums on Necrophagia, which I played guitar on. So we worked together later in the years. But at the time, you know, Graveyard Rodeo was the most different local band that all other bands that played genre music all kind of crumbled before. It's like you could be in the jam rooms and there could be 16 bands practicing, but when Graveyard Rodeo showed up,
you knew it was them, right?
Everybody stopped and cowered. It was like, holy shit! It was this dark
heavy
thing.
Yeah.
And that's where Pepper came from, man.
Yeah.
And I saw him play with Graveyard that one time, and then he was really the first to fly from New Orleans and go join COC, which at the time was a very big deal. And I can't say he's the first, because there was a guy named John Sanchez who went and played with Agnostic Front. Matter of fact, I saw John. Agnostic Front in '85 with Motorhead and this band called Hallows Eve, if anybody remembers that, you metalheads. I do. And fucking, that's when hardcore became real to me. I was like, holy H-fuck.
Yeah.
This is a whole new
Agnostic
world.
Front, yeah.
And that convinced me. That convinced me that No Image is the best, because it lets your songs do all the time. Yeah, exactly. And to me, it's the song that's important, not what the fuck you look like.
It is at the end of the day, and I love that. And you know, I did. I know you did Unbroken.
Even with bands that do have an image.
Yeah, yeah.
It's true. If they write a great song,
it doesn't matter. You know?
Lay it on me, you fucking creeps. You know, right. I love you.
Speaking of great songs, doing Out for War with Rex.
Today?
Devil Hill today was great, man.
I don't know about that.
You've been up a half hour, right?
Exactly. I had just freshly gotten off the shitter and barely fucking... Poor kid, too.
Yeah.
I was chewing gum, but I hadn't even brushed my teeth yet when I sang into his microphone. So, sorry, Dewey. You caught me at an awkward time.
But it was great, though. It was good to hear that. It was really cool. And then doing Unbroken with Zach and, Black Label.
It's fun, man. It's fun.
Well, the reissues have been great. Like, when Vulgar Display Power, the reissue came out with the extra disc and Far Beyond Driven. I'm so happy that Kim and all you guys are working together and getting those records out.
We understand that there is a fan base today that is. Before I even say this, I just gotta say, let's hear it for the parenthood of the '90s. They taught their children. And they gaveth to them Pantera.
Yeah.
And somehow we have this fucking 15-year-old to 30-year-old following that never got to see us live,
Yeah.
And just know the legacy of, and that's amazing, man. So Pantera is still a very viable business. So, I take it as a blessing, man. I take it as the greatest, most amazing, fucking overwhelming thing that ever happened in my life, man.
Those are all great records, and the shows were great, man. I saw it.
Well, it took a lot of hard work, man.
Yeah.
I'll say that, because the guys in Pantera they had particularities that were enforced, It was very, very technically sound, unbelievable musicians, and gave a big fuck about their craft.
Yeah, I know you did, and the songs were great. Yeah, I don't know if I ever told you this, Phil. I don't think I did, but because it was only a couple of years ago, but I actually played fucking Hostile on the radio in New York City at 8 in the morning. I cut out the fucks myself because I know where they all are, because I just to make so, and it was enough so the FCC would throw me off the air permanently. But I played it at 8 a.m. Can you imagine people driving to work and listening to fucking Hostile? It was a very cool thing. It was something I always wanted to do.
That'll wake you up.
It's cool.
It's kind of like waking up. One day, I do, on my bedboard, I got these goat skulls. And I was reaching for something one morning, trying to get some water or something, and somehow I rattled the goat skull. And it fell, and it went smack right on my nose, which has been broken over 10 times. And my album started bleeding everywhere. And I jumped up. I'm like, jeez, it didn't even hurt. I was like, Jesus, ain't fucking Christ, I'm bleeding all over the house. And my old lady sits up and goes, well, that'll get your blood flowing in the morning. And it was true. I was wide awake, don't get me wrong. Yeah. So I know the feeling.
Well, it was
fucking hostile on the radio. That's like bloody nose.
It is. It definitely hits people hard, but it was fun to do because I've always loved the song, and it was something that I always wanted to do. And I just said, listen, I will make sure that the word fuck isn't heard completely through. So that
I don't know, just.
And especially because
did you leave an F?
I left the F. Oh yeah, I had to. And we're like, well,
good at it.
That way you know. You know what I mean? And especially at the end with the different timings, the different times the way you say it when the song ends. I had to. But you got to know the song to do it correctly. You got to call your pants down.
Fucking down.
It was great. It was totally cool. So are you? There's been rumors about, people would love to see you guys play together again, and people have been talking about it, as you know, and all those kids, like you said, there's so many people that never got to see the band when you were originally together. Would you enjoy doing that again, getting out and playing that after Rex and Vinny? And
I think the situation would have to be correct.
Yeah.
I think
somebody like Zach would be perfect.
Oh yeah, no doubt. We're on tour with fucking Black Label Society right now.
Yeah.
And don't ever underestimate the power of conversation between Zach and I.
Yeah.
And I know Rex is a smart man.
Very good man, too.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, there would have to be a meeting.
Yeah.
At a table. Or without a table.
Yeah.
Between Rex, Vince, and I.
Yeah.
And there would have to be a big time understanding between the two of us.
Yeah.
Before anything happens at all.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think there's a great percentage of me that says this generation deserves it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And then there's a reservation in me that says, you know what, man? Legacies get passed down, this, that, the other, and maybe we should leave it alone and just let it be part of lore and history and whatnot. But I guess the final thing I could say about all this is the more I end up knowing, the more motherfuckers like you will end up absolutely knowing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey man, the more I find out, the more I'll,
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
I'll spread the word.
Yeah, and that's a great thing, man. Especially with all, like I said, I love all the reissues, the live stuff, and I hope that Reinventing Steel will come out soon.
Yeah, of course.
With an extra disc and a bunch of other stuff.
And then eventually, by the time, I guess, what was the last one? Reinventing.
Yeah.
By the time that comes out, Cowboys from Hell will be going on its 30th year anniversary.
Think about it. That's crazy, isn't it?
It's fuck up.
And what a great album. But we sit there and say 30 years. And we're like, holy shit. Is it really 30 years, man?
And power metal would be...
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm not a great mathematician right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes I am.
Yeah. No, but it's... Man, we would love that.
I'm a list maker. List maker.
Gotta do it.
Yeah. I've got the heavyweight division divided into, and I've got thousands of names, not hundreds, thousands. NFL.
Yeah.
I'm an expert.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now I'm not an expert, but I know the gridiron.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh man, we would love to. We really do. We do hope that happens. We do hope that you guys do get together and talk about it. We'd love to see that show. But
yeah, I'd like to see that. Let me ask
especially
you
doing the songs again. Even Rex had said to me earlier today, he's rapping and he said how he enjoys when he first started doing his other outside things at Kill Devil Hill. And he wanted to keep it separate, but now he says, I really feel different about it. I'm enjoying playing the tracks from our legacy. We're proud of that music. And so throwing, and I think that's fantastic. Doing Mouth for More.
Well, hell, I've done the Metal Masters for 3 years. And, you know, Kerry King and all the Anthrax guys, Slayer guys, Gary Holt. And we do those songs. It's like, I cannot believe these guys that influence my life are so enthusiastic about playing these fucking songs. It's beyond the word flattering. I don't know how to fucking put it into real words.
Yeah.
But also, I will say, when we're doing them, it feels natural.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And if there was ever a proper presentation, like, okay, Pantera's back together, Zach's on guitar, that would be a massive feeling.
Yeah.
That would be outrageous.
It'd be fantastic.
It would be outrageous. It would be whatever, and I would go to war.
Yeah.
I would be in the best shape possible. And
well, you always were, man. I remember going backstage with you, and you were always making sure, like, right before you would go on at a Pantera show, you were just...
I had boxing coaches and
Yeah,
all that shit with me. But, you know, after I injured my back, things got really vulnerable for me, and that was a very bad feeling for me. You know, I felt like Superman at one time, and then whack, cut in half.
Yeah.
And you know, whatever, man. Hey, you get dealt the fucking card you get.
That's right. Yeah.
And you play it.
Yeah.
And I lost a bunch of rounds.
Yeah.
But I think the
You
reason why we're sitting here today having this conversation, I might have won a couple too.
Yeah. I think you did. I know you did.
Thank you, baby.
Phil, thanks for hanging out, man. I loved hanging here with you. And we should let you know the power's out in here. They turned the power off. So Phil and I said, fuck it, we're going to hang out anyway and talk to you. Which
Look
is
at the
cool.
atmosphere.
We got a better atmosphere. We're just hanging out. It's cool. It's fanpads.tv, hanging out with Phil. And we're at Rock of the Rage 2014.